Prince William has arrived in Belfast as he continues his two-day tour of the UK, launching his major new campaign to tackle homelessness. During the visit, it emerged that the heir to the throne took inspiration from his late grandfather's ability to get things done. He was told how the Duke of Edinburgh persuaded politicians and civil servants to finance the building he was visiting in Belfast by asking them a very direct question: why don't you just give them the B money? Get the latest royal news straight to your phone by joining our WhatsApp community. The 41-year-old visited the East Belfast Mission at the Skynose Centre in Newtown Ards Road and was shown around by the Reverend Brian Anderson, who chairs the building's board. The Methodist minister told him how when the Queen and Prince Philip visited the old East Belfast Mission Hall in 2008 they were shown plans for the Skynose Centre, and when the monarch asked why it had not been built yet, one of his predecessors explained it was because of lack of money. Philip, he said, turned around to the assembled politicians and civil servants behind him. He just immediately asked them, why don't you just give them the money? There was an expletive in there, but I'm not going to say that. And 3 weeks later the money turned up. Kate steps out in Southampton to open new facility to support women in the justice system. The Princess of Wales has arrived in Southampton to officially open Home Street, a pioneering family-friendly residential community that will pilot a new approach to supporting women and children in the justice system. William replied, "That sounds like my grandfather," and later smiled as he told a crowd of well-wishers who had gathered in the road outside, "The Reverend has been telling me stories about my grandfather." The heir to the throne has today unveiled Belfast as the fourth pilot location of his Homewards housing scheme as he spent time at the East Belfast Mission during his stopover in the city, where he was met by Belfast's Lord Lieutenant Dame Fionnuala Mary J. O'Boyle upon arrival. He was cheered by well-wishers as he arrived at the Skynose Centre in East Belfast, where he will learn about local initiatives to address homelessness during his brief visit. The mission oversees a range of support work for all sorts of people, including the growing number of homeless in Belfast, and provides a hostel and housing for people without shelter. William, who has picked 6 locations as 5-year pilot projects to demonstrate how homelessness can be made rare, brief, and unrepeated, has made the whole of Northern Ireland one of the areas for his crusade. At the centre he heard how Belfast and the whole country of 1.9 million people is suffering from a lack of social housing and an overheated market that has led to rocketing and unaffordable rents in the private sector. The future king met experts, thanked them for the work they were doing, and vowed that Homewards would change the narrative and put the UK on the road to ending homelessness. He said, "I see this as giving a rocket boost in the next 5 years to all the fantastic work you're already doing." Prince William's "Thank you for inspiring me" message at Homeless launch. Latest, Charles features in new film alongside top stars Olivia Colman and Idris Elba. Spotlight, Hollywood legend issues scathing verdict on Meghan Markle. Reveal, William then travelled to Aberdeen, confirming that the Granite City would be the 5th location out of the 6 to be picked by the initiative for its housing. Homewards' Aberdeen location will be given access to new space, tools, and relationships, as the Prince aims to highlight what can be achieved through the power of collective action. He visited the Tillydrone Community Campus alongside Homewards advocate David Duquesne, the founder and CEO of Street Soccer Scotland and Street Soccer London, to show the benefits of joined-up community services in preventing homelessness. The Prince was then given a tour of the campus and saw a number of activities already underway, including cooking classes, NHS services, housing services and nursery sessions for young children. William, who is known as the Duke of Rothesay in Scotland, met 18-year-old Danny Jack, who had slept rough for 2 months last year. He told the BBC, "It was definitely a rough one. It's a traumatic experience that taught me a lot. I now know how to survive, and that through any hard days there are good ones to match. I feel like it definitely needs to be talked about a bit more. There's a giant stigma around youth homelessness. It affected my life immensely. Because of my time on the streets, I didn't pass college. I'm going back to do that this year, and hopefully I'll finally achieve the grade I never could." Yesterday, William had a packed day starting in London, before travelling to Bournemouth and going on to Newport in Wales as he visited different schemes which aim to both help the homeless and prevent people from taking to the streets.